Okay, welcome to the bracket, episode 157. Staggered crew today. This will be hopefully one of the last times we have to do like a mixed sort of thing because Tommy's on the way flying to Chicago right now for one of the last episodes of Advisors. Anus Boys had to dip late. We are joined by, for this I think a very appropriate episode, the Chicago crew of Dave, Chief, and Eddie, and also Klemmer here as well. And we are doing what is the best sports jersey. I think a very good crew for this. Good age range, I think, between all of us to try and get like the best of all the jerseys without going too far back. We're not doing like 1939, Boston Braves or whatever, right?
Well, the Brooklyn Dodgers had a satin uniform in the late 40s.
Satin? I've never seen this.
Klemmer, I'm so ready for Klemmer on this one. Like
that's a weird one for sure. But no, I don't think I went beyond the 80s even for mine.
Mm-hmm. Klemmer's taking the White Sox wearing shorts.
How have I never seen this satin jersey, Klemmer?
I never heard of that
jersey,
before.
right?
I just Googled it. This is the first time I've ever seen this in my life.
I think they sell like Mitchell and Ness does like the uses the same materials.
Yeah.
I think they sell a Brooklyn Dodgers satin jersey. I think I saw it at the MLB shop.
Do you like
The 90s
sweat like
Yankees
crazy?
wore
I mean,
cotton.
the pants were satin too.
You have to sweat like crazy in satin, no?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You
I
need
have no idea.
You need a breathable fabric.
But it looks shiny and cool.
Would like a suede jersey work?
That'd be heavy, right?
Yeah, that'd be
Heavy
really
and
heavy.
sweat a lot.
I think so.
You'd think that maybe baseball even now would be like, we're going to use the same material as football.
They basically do.
No, those are like thicker, aren't they?
It depends on the team too. But
Baseball should be
they're
doing
way
anyone
lighter and
else's thing,
more
yeah.
breathable than they used to be.
Yeah.
I think the idea or the general consensus is that the MLB jerseys were just way too thin. Was that like the big thing?
They're
with
setting
Fanatics?
up
Last
fix
year, the
that
pants.
for next year.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
switched from who is their old uniform supplier? They
Isn't
switched
like
from them to Nike last year, and then the Nike uniforms you could see through all the pants, and people were making Photoshop fun with it and all that.
Yeah, that was not too smart. And to bracket fans, sorry we missed a week episode last week. I've been going through like just a bad medical week. Just had the fever of like 101 for like 4 days straight. I thought, and this is based on my limited knowledge from what was that movie with Chris Rock where he plays like the amoeba or some shit? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Oh my God.
Osmosis Jones.
with Bill Murray.
I thought because of Osmosis Jones, I'm like, if I have 101 fever more than a few days, you die. I thought that was like the whole thing in it was like Cyrus the Virus or whatever the fuck his name was. No, that's from Con Air. I made this mistake twice. Like you just died. Didn't die. And then immediately had to get a hemorrhoid removed, which, by the way, let me tell you.
Oh, whoa.
Bad experience. Not cool. Nothing about that is fun. That is a as far as like my medical experiences go, that's like a bottom 2.
Bottom 2? What's worse than that?
Worse than the hair?
No, it's bottom 1. It was the worst thing I think I've
Okay.
ever.
Yes, I would imagine.
That was bottom number 1.
Well, so what do they do?
I've
Like,
never had
sit you
one.
there and a hemorrhoid. That's the
Never had
asshole
one
thing,
either,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like a little thing in your asshole that like it just hurts every time you poop, and so it was hurting a lot. So he just comes. I go into the gastro.
I don't even like talking about it.
You know what?
It was awful. It was terrible.
I got a buddy who
Klemmer.
just pops him back in.
Stop.
I
Yeah,
had
I
my
swear.
first hemorrhoid last month.
You got lucky.
And they say the older you get, the more, I guess, susceptible you are, because I guess it's like the muscles don't react the same way and shit. So, like, I guess this is like part of getting older, guys. It sucks.
Yeah, nothing.
Mine went away on its own. I didn't have to have surgery, thank God. But like now, I'm
I thought
scared
it
I'm
was
gonna get
from
them
like
now.
sitting on the can too much on your phone.
That's
what I-
part of it.
That's part of it. And I guess the other part is like straining. But like you could strain the same way at 45. You do 25. 25, you're fine. But 45, because your body's
Yeah.
getting older, it fucking gives you a hemorrhoid.
Well, let me tell you, Klemmer, when I do my business in the morning, I'm straining.
You got to dial it back. You got to find a different. I'm telling you, you're gonna end up like me at 45 and you're getting a hemorrhoid. And you're like, oh my, and it hurts for 2 weeks. It was a problem, and it went away.
You know, hemorrhoids cost Hawk Harrelson the MVP in 1975.
That's right. They did. They did cost them the MVP. Was it 75
Or not
or
that-
was it 75 or 68?
I don't. I forget the exact year. I said
thought
MVP.
it was 68.
I take
Could be
that back.
wrong.
It was the Triple Crown. He lost it by a couple RBIs because he had hemorrhoids in the last week or two of the season.
Damn.
That might
Yeah.
be 67. I don't know. Yes,
forget
no, I
the
know.
year.
You're right though. You're absolutely right about the hemorrhoids.
Let me tell you guys, the worst part about it was they tell me like, hey, we're going to have to give you an enema. And I'm like, oh, gross. That's nasty.
Ugh.
So I get there, and I'll send you guys a picture. It's not PG. It's PG picture. Don't worry. I thought that they were going to give me the enema. And surprise, I was wrong. They handed me this, which I just sent you a picture of. And they're like, all right, head to the bathroom, and I'll show it on the screen. It's just a bottle with the long-ass fucking nozzle on it. And they're like, yeah, go have fun.
You had to stick this up your butt?
You had to stick this up your butt and like flush it all out, and then they go in and do their business. Nothing about it was.
So
Just saying, take care of your butts. Don't sit too long on the toilet. I sit forever on the toilet.
Don't strain.
Yeah, don't strain. Don't sit too long on the toilet.
This actually is whipping me into shape because I will sit there
With
for
how you
like
poop?
legit in the morning. I will sit there for 20 minutes and just catch up on what I missed on the.
yeah, but how you need
They
that
don't
private
like
time.
when you do that. I don't think. I think that's bad.
You gotta find the balance, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm not even shitting. I'm just on the tolet.
Yeah, you're just sitting and staring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking straight ahead and thinking about all my adversaries.
Let me tell you, get a squatty potty, just get in and out. You do everything you can to get out of there as soon as possible so that you don't end up with what I just went through, which was miserable. But anyway, before we get to this episode, sorry for too much poop talk in the beginning. Did you know that you could, again, how many times have you fooled Chicago with that too?
Oh.
Do you remember Rudy fell for that like 5 separate occasions?
Yeah.
He thought his fake fart was
Rudy
real.
sat like right across from me for a year and a half too in the New York office, and I would fool him. I don't know every week. With
Yeah.
that.
And Rudy just falls.
Yeah, Rudy
fake
always
farts all
thinks
the time.
that's a real fart.
But before I get to that, did you know that you can get tickets, and I picked this one specifically, to Duke versus Notre Dame basketball right in the front row? $411, right in the front row. Chief, would you go to that?
Is that a Cameron?
Is that a
Yeah, I would go to that. I would
Yeah.
definitely go to that. I would absolutely go to that.
I mean,
Front
that
row?
feels like a deal you can't turn down.
I would love to go to that.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag running around?
Go see Cooper
It's an
Flagler.
all-timer. That's a bucket list thing.
Exactly. Basketball season is here, and we can't wait to go out and get some games with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. There's no feeling like seeing your favorite player drain a 3 live, and Game Time can help. You know how much we love Game Time. Everyone at Barstool, you check any podcast, any video, any whatever. We're always talking about Game Time. We love Game Time here. And now they have the Game Time Picks feature. It makes it easier to even see a game. They filter out all the fluff and show you only the incredible deals on great seats so that you don't have to waste any time searching through thousands of tickets for NBA or college basketball games near you. So we can go get those tickets on Game Time Picks right now. Just pull up the chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse to the best local Game Time Picks deal near you on your Game Time app homepage. So what are you waiting for? We're going to get those Notre Dame versus Duke tickets right now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BRACKET for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BRACKET for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Shout out to Notre Dame. Hope they win.
Yeah, me too.
What do you think of their chances?
Against North Carolina or against
Against Duke.
Against Duke rather? Probably not good. Notre Dame's a year away from being good in basketball. They got a big recruiting class
they
coming in
do.
next year.
They got a very nice one.
Yeah.
Next year will be the year.
Next year will be the year.
Again, we're doing a bracket. It is the best sports jerseys of all time. I'm going to try and share my screen for this just to make this go a little bit smoother. And there you go, one of your first matchups. The classic regular Dodgers jersey, which I think is, Klemmer, you submitted it.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe
I submitted as well, yeah.
Dave submitted as well. I think it was on your guys because Eddie, you sent me you guys did a jersey draft in 2020 or something like a while back. I think you guys had drafted in there as well. So the Dodgers jersey, it's classic, it's retro. I was trying to think of who was the best with all these pictures. Anyway, I'm trying to think of the best player from each jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Koufax is.
Can't go wrong with Sandy Koufax. No, that's a solid one.
Question here. Are we talking about the crisp white ones or the gray ones?
I had the same question.
Yeah.
I said the whites.
Okay.
You said the
'cause
whites, so we can do the whites. I just picked this because this is the first. This is what I think of.
The
normally
home
Dodgers.
that home uniform. You got the blue Los Angeles, and then you have the red.
Yeah.
That
It's
to me
so
is-
clean. It's so clean.
So say Dodgers home. That's their home, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
we'll say
a
their
reason
home
for the red letter or the numbers. What is it again, Klemmer?
I don't know.
It's something that goes back.
I don't know.
There's an actual reason for it. I forget what it is.
That's
though.
one of those questions where I've never even thought why the numbers are red.
Yeah.
But as soon as Dave asked it, I'm like, oh, Klemmer will know this.
I don't. I'm sorry. I hate to let you boys down. I do not. I should. It's a
Can we get a little
very
check
good
on that?
question, Dave.
Is Los Angeles too long of a city name to be written in cursive across the
I
chest?
don't think so.
I can't read cursive, so that's one of the strikes against this uniform for me, but I think it looks fine.
I think it's the classicness and the color scheme that makes it cooler than really what it is.
Red and blue always plays to me.
That Dodger blue especially.
Yeah.
I think their uniforms are awesome.
I love them.
I love them too.
I like their hat more than their uniforms.
Yeah, their hat is great. Great
That's
logo.
my opinion.
If
Great
I
logo.
wore other like other team hats, the Dodgers hat would be the one I'd
Yeah,
wear.
I like the hat more than I like the jerseys.
Do you think the Brooklyn Dodgers one is nice too? I always liked it.
The Brooklyn Dodgers with that like the white B.
Yeah.
I like the I like the LA interlocking more.
Yeah.
Personally, just it's a taste thing. But yeah, I that uniform. You look at the Brooklyn Dodgers. It is very similar. The jerseys are similar, obviously,
Yeah.
Los Angeles. But maybe that's where the red numbers come from. They could have come from Brooklyn. I don't know.
I've got it here. The Los Angeles Dodgers' red numbers on their uniforms are a result of the aftermath of the Bobby Thompson game-winning home run in 1951. This home run, known as the shot heard around the world, propelled the New York Giants into the World Series, where they beat the Brooklyn Dodgers in a 3-game playoff series. The Dodgers added red numbers to their uniforms for the 51 World Series, but they were rendered useless after the game because they got eliminated and weren't used again until the following spring. So that's when they started, at least.
So they did it for the 51 World Series, which they didn't make.
Which they didn't make.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How about that? So yeah, it was from Brooklyn. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Dodgers are going up against the retro Magic jersey, just one of the classics. And I think Shaq's just like that to me
that is the guy.
That's the Magic player.
I have someone else.
I got
Penny?
it's Shaq
Penny.
and Penny together.
Yeah, it's Penny to me.
It's them two together, but I think Shaq was obviously the better player, but like that.
And he was first too.
Yeah, I guess
think of him more Lakers. Though.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
I only really I know Penny played for the Suns and some other teams, but when I think of Penny, I think of him with those Magic jerseys, and
I
I
think maybe
love those Magic jerseys.
Maybe the problem to me is like Shaq is like, yeah, he's like a Laker as well, but he's not the best Laker. You know what I mean? Like he's not the Laker, but he's to me the Magic.
He's the only Magic who's never retired, I believe.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Shaq, and I don't know if you guys remember this or not. When Shaq got drafted by the Magic, it was such an exciting moment because like they were such a bad franchise for the first 5 years of their existence, and then if you guys recall, that first year they missed the playoff by a game, and then they won the lottery the next year, and that's how they got Penny, and it was because they traded that was supposed to be Weber and they traded him, but like that was such a crazy moment to have and Shaq really was the face of that franchise at that time. It was.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, they knocked the Bulls out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to the
Jordan-
NBA Finals.
Yeah.
They lost.
They
Nick
got
Anderson, but
they got swept by the Rockets.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Jordan came back.
Yeah.
I believe 45, and that's
Yep.
when he was like, "Oh, I need to get back in the gym."
You're right.
This is
Well, because he came in that year in February or something.
yeah, 45 Jordan.
Yeah, and somebody on the Magic said 45 ain't 23.
Yeah.
And then Jordan's like, "Oh, fuck you." He's like, "I'll kill everybody."
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it. I got this jersey in a route.
Yeah.
I
so
love
actually,
I
let's
love
start-
this one.
Let's start with you, Eddie.
Now, which is the 12 and which is the 5? Is 12 the Dodgers?
Magic is 12, Dodgers is 5.
Okay.
Listen, I like classic jerseys, but I don't have the Dodgers in the next pantheon as I do some of the other ones, which I'm sure are on here. And I think as far as like a new age 90s jersey, it's hard to beat that Magic, so I'm taking the Magic.
I also think that the Magic going away and changing their uniforms a million times after these was like one of the biggest mistakes their franchise ever made.
I went to a game over break in Orlando. I went to Knicks Magic, and it's disgusting what they did to their jerseys.
Terrible.
Yep. It's a damn shame. I think it's directly correlates with their misfortunes too as a franchise.
They deserve it.
Yeah. Dave, White Sox Dave.
It's hard because the color scheme is largely the same. I think I'm gonna go with the Magic. It's so hard to me though. Like I don't give a
There's
fuck
better
about
old school ones
basketball.
than the Dodgers, and the Dodgers hat is better. I stand by that.
I like my pick though. I'm gonna go with the Magic, but somewhat sort of begrudgingly.
Magic's logo too. I mean, like we want to talk about good ones. This is like about as 90s as it gets, but their old logo is so cool.
Yeah.
Something about it. Chief.
I'm going Magic. This one to me is like that whole rant there by Klemmer. I don't remember anything pre-Shaq. Like this is like some of my earliest NBA memories.
Yeah.
Like I remember them more than I remember the first 3 Bulls championships. So I love those teams.
Yeah.
I love Shaq and Penny. I love that jersey. Give me the Magic.
Yeah. Between these two, I would go with the Magic as well. And
This
it's not-
is just wild nostalgia from you guys. I mean, you guys are Shaq and Penny, great, but like the Dodgers, think about all the stuff the Dodgers have done. I love this Magic jersey. I love the number scheme too. It's just a cool, like it's the way the
Yeah.
numbers look. It's just awesome. But like the Dodgers are to me an historic jersey. They are. This Magic jersey is nice and it's a cool one from the '90s. But like, I think if you guys were 10 years younger, I'm going to play that card for once in this show. I think you guys would not have the I think this is more of a nostalgia play for you guys because you guys were kids when this was a.
Yeah, I also fucking hate the Dodgers, and that's part of it too.
I'm not really taking history into account as much. I'm going purely on aesthetics.
Yeah, that's fair. So am I too. But I just think part of the aesthetics to me is the iconography of the Dodgers.
Sure.
To some extent, just the classicness of it. But if you said, "Hey, Chris, you got to pick 3 great 90s jerseys that are specifically 90s, like this Magic one have you the top list." So I don't hate this jersey at all, but I'm going to go Dodgers, but I'm going to lose.
Yeah, to me, it's like it's longevity versus exclusivity in a way. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we had it for such a short period, but that
Right.
was so cool. We've had the Dodgers. That jersey's been there forever, which like is a pro.
But I think
That's-
it's almost like it literally stands the test of time.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to bring up after Ed said it's disgusting what they did. Would these jerseys be that cool if they just stuck with them through now?
No.
I think they
Like-
would. I think they would.
I don't think
we'd
so.
be so used to them. I don't think we'd be like, oh shit, those were sweet. You know?
But I
Because
don't.
like, look at the Colorado Rockies, right? They haven't changed their uniform. And actually, it's fairly similar, their home uniform, to this, except for the Magic and the 32, but like the pinstripes.
Kind of is actually.
Yeah.
And, we don't think of the Rockies uniform as anything that great. But if you think of the old Marlins, the old Diamondbacks, or any of those old uniforms, you're like, oh my God, those uniforms are amazing, almost because they don't exist anymore.
We did a draft on Monday of worst franchises, and the Rockies got Tuesday. Sorry. And the Rockies got brought up, and I think we all said like that jersey's awesome.
I said again,
yeah.
I like
Okay.
the hat more.
Yeah.
They don't have this sleeveless jerseys anymore. I'm a
Right.
huge fan of this old school sleeveless
black
jerseys.
vest like
yeah,
Todd Helton would
right.
wear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But correct, they are the same for the most part, aside from the sleeves.
Yeah. Either way, the retro Magic jersey is going to move on. Now we're going to get to the 4 versus the 13 seed. Starting out with the Eagles, Kelly Green.
Oh, those are great. Who picked that?
Eagles. I think I'm not sure if anyone here submitted it.
That's
I
a
was
great
definitely one where I was like, I
selection.
need to include.
Oh, I
that
didn't
no
even
matter
think
what.
about that one.
Eagles, Kelly Green is just an iconic one. I'm glad that they brought it back too.
Same.
Yes.
For the most part, like anytime you see them, that's just an iconic color.
Great call on this one, by the way.
Probably the best green jersey. I'm
Yes.
trying to think of like any other green jersey that really stands out.
Maybe
like,
the
sometimes certain
Celtics.
teams have alternates, but I think this is the green jersey to me.
I feel like the Celtics jersey's boring. And
Boring?
Yeah, like it's great, it's iconic, but like it doesn't have, for me, it doesn't have the cool factor that this Eagles one
It's
does.
a different level for sure, I would say.
I mean, this. So I like the I don't know if we can talk Celtics later or not.
We'll
Do we
talk
get-
Celtics a
All
little,
right,
a
so
little bit later.
I'll pass. But this, as far as being a road jersey green, this is a pretty tough one to beat.
All right,
If we're
well,
talking that green stuff.
it's going up against another classic, just Notre Dame. Notre Dame classic jerseys. Sorry to put you in a bit of a bind here if you're a fan of the Eagles Kelly Green, Chief. But
You
just
really did.
Yeah, just the classic Notre Dame talking.
I'm assuming this is the 4 seed, right? That's actually kind of crazy that they're the 4 seed.
They're the 4 seed versus the 13 seed Eagle Kelly Green. Yeah, it was. You want to talk about ones where like I put this call out and everybody said Notre Dame. Like it is one of the most submitted ones. You could just say maybe it's because of the fans or whatever, but it was one of the most submitted ones. I was trying to think of the most iconic Notre Dame football player. I feel like this is okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Rudy's okay. Who would you put above?
Was it Joe Montana on the Notre Dame?
Briefly, the baseball player.
Joe Montana, the baseball
You mean the
player?
actor?
You got drafted by the Expos or some shit, didn't
I don't think so. Tom Brady did.
Joe Montana didn't get drafted?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever.
Who was
John Elway got drafted.
Oh, John Elway got
the
drafted.
Yankees?
Yeah, never mind.
John Elway was a high pick by the
Yeah.
Yankees. He was like first
Yeah.
rounder by the
He
Yankees. wasn't
used
Yeah.
the Yankees to get out of going to Baltimore.
That's exactly right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mixed up my
So
Jones.
Kelly
Or
Green
Johnny
versus Notre
Joes.
Dame.
Kelly Green versus Notre Dame. Klemmer, you're up first.
Okay, so this is specifically jerseys, correct?
Specifically jerseys.
So that's important
not
here.
the uniform, not the helmet.
no, I think
No, you
That
said
is huge.
uniforms, right?
it's part of the. It's part of the ski. It's part of it. I think.
So
yeah.
we are talking. So the Dodger hat would have counted then.
It would have counted
Yeah,
towards
it's
the
a whole
overall thing,
uniform.
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
All right. That's-
Sorry, yeah, we should have clarified that. We're talking not like a jersey you're gonna wear. You know what I mean?
Head
As
to
Joe
toe.
Schmo.
Yeah, what the players are wearing on the field.
So the helmet
We'll say
counts here.
kit or whatever you want to fucking call it, like the
Yeah.
full jersey experience. You know what I mean? Like
That's
everything.
well. We gotta be careful because if it's a helmet, this might change things a little bit because the
We're including the helmet.
all right because the Notre Dame jersey stinks. The Notre stinks is maybe harsh, but it's boring as fuck. When you include the helmet, then it adds a whole spice to it. Having said all that, I think that Eagles helmet is pretty fucking cool too.
It is.
and I think that jersey is sick. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. This is one of the most underrated, I think, jerseys. And I said I'm so glad it was brought up because this is one maybe more from my. I don't know how much you guys remember this one, but like late '80s, early '90s. This was a pretty cool look. So I'm going to go this one, but having the helmet gives Notre Dame a bigger edge than they would have had without it.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same sort of team with you in that, like, the Notre Dame jersey, I'm not a big college football watcher, so like it definitely hurts my enjoyment of the Notre Dame things, or most college football uniforms, I would say, or jerseys. I think the Notre Dame one's like one of the most iconic, obviously. So, but either way, something about the Kelly green. Something about that green. Green's my favorite color too, which is like stacks on stacks on stacks. I got to go with Eagles Kelly green here as well. So 2 for Eagles Kelly green. Chief.
I'm going the Irish. There's just something about a Saturday in the fall where you have that gold helmet shining in the sun. And it is iconic. It is unchanging. I hate when they have like that one time a year where they wear some funky Oregon type of uniform. I think these are great. It is college football. And I love those Eagles Kelly green. Like, I remember that one time, it was like week 1 and like Michael Vick played and they wore those. I was like, oh my God, like, are they bringing these jerseys back full time? So that's got to be like 12 years ago now, or 10 years ago. And I think they're a great uniform, but Notre Dame, the blue and gold, to me, it is the best.
Mm-hmm. So 1 for Notre Dame. Which NFL, is it the Packers throwback that kind of is like they do gold?
Bit.
Yeah, but
really
it's like the way
It's like
uglier.
a mustard yellow. It's
Yeah,
ugly.
it's gross.
The Jets' first one, though, and the New York Titans
too, right? Yeah.
have kind of a look similar, not nearly
like
as
way
nice as
uglier.
You're way uglier. Way much uglier. Notre Dame, that helmet, I don't know what it is about that gold and blue. You wouldn't think those colors, they would clash, but they work together.
Dude, you know what that reminded me of? Do you remember how bad those Giants throwbacks uniforms were? At the beginning of the season?
Horrific.
Those were disgusting.
So bad.
I don't know who the
remember
fuck signed
those.
off on that.
All red one?
It was like
What-
red.
Yeah.
It was like
Oh,
a block
with like a-
red, blue, and white. Yeah,
And they had like tan pants.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
they wore khakis. They wore khakis.
dude, it was
Yeah.
gross. That that always stands out to me as one of the bad ones. And do you remember the Jaguars mustard color rush thing?
Yeah.
That was heinous.
Where they had the helmet that like changed colors halfway through.
Yeah, it was just a
Those are
heinous,
bad.
heinous color rush. Dave.
I detest Notre Dame, but I'm going Notre Dame. I think like other like Notre Dame does it. Notre Dame goes to the Kelly Greens. Boston Celtics have Kelly Green. If another team tried to do what Notre Dame does, like another football team used a literal gold helmet, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? You can't do that. That's not allowed. It's their uniform.
Shamrocks, baby.
Who?
My high school does.
I mean that. Sure, go ahead. It's theirs. I hate that university, that football program with everything in my body, but their uniforms to me are like the coolest in all sports. I think that's what I put first. No, it was one other one, but Notre Dame's. Those are my favorite uniforms, probably.
You're gonna break the tie, Eddie.
Listen, this is going to come off as very homoerotic, and I understand that, and I'm okay with it. But there's something nice looking when those boys from Notre Dame have those tight navy uniforms.
Jesus Christ!
Listen,
No, you're right. You are right.
I'm
Is
just
this
thinking
Eddie
of,
or Sandusky? What's going on here?
listen, no.
That's
no,
too far.
No,
Oh, sorry.
no. But like a nice
think
Brady
Sandusky took it
Quinn,
too
a nice
far.
Jeff Samardzija, like that's like they look fucking good. Those
Yeah.
jerseys look good. So that's I don't want to hear it's just the helmet. The jerseys look good too. Those Kelly Green Eagles are nice, but a little baggy, a little too old school. Like there's something sharp about the way fucking those boys
Yeah.
from South Bend wear it. I know that came off.
No,
but
you're right. You're right.
I-
I will say though, I love the silver wings on the Kelly Green helmets too.
So I'm going Notre Dame. Needless to say.
What's like is like the Notre Dame versus Penn State game? Is that like the pedophile bowl? Like what do they call that?
I think Notre Dame
we
has
don't
nothing-
want to be
Well, the Catholics.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that joke's definitely made 1,000 times. I just put that
Yeah.
together in my head. Never mind.
But-
So Notre Dame's going to move on. Now we
Objection.
have the number 9 seed versus the number 8 seed. Expos, baby.
Let's go.
Expos. Klemmer, I think was one of yours. I think it was also Dave.
I did this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Expos was a big one. And did I pick right?
Well, the helmets.
I went with the white ones personally, but
like
I was
the road blue.
I was more
Oh, the player
about the
was Andre
logo.
Austin. I would have gone Tim Raines. But that's okay. Andre Austin's right there for sure. Hall of Famer. Yeah, the blue. So this is a little older. This is 70s. I like
Okay.
I like the 80s one a little better.
Okay.
It doesn't
That's
have.
what I went with.
See how it has the Montreal, the ELB, but it's an M.
Yeah.
and it says Expos script underneath. I don't love that, the script underneath. And I think the 80s one is a little cleaner. But other than that, though, it's the same color, and I love that logo.
All right, I'll make sure to swap it in the. I typed in like Dawson 80s, or 80s. So I'm trying to make sure.
I don't know. Yeah. But it's the same basic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically. I didn't know until today when I was looking it up actually what the logo actually meant. It's French for MLB, right? Is that what it is, Klemmer?
It's
They're the Montreal Baseball Club, but it's in French.
Right.
Yes.
And there's some. I read a book about it. It's written by a bad person.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I forget. But it's a very good history about the Expos. I forget the guy's name now.
Mark
But
yeah, that's who I was thinking. Who wrote a Marge Shot?
Yeah.
No. He's
Should we see both before we comment, or Kenjac? I don't know. How do we do?
It's basically the same one. I was thinking
No,
the
I'm
white
saying
one,
like
though.
both jerseys.
Yeah,
like the home or the one I'm talking about.
You're talking about
No.
the one you're talking. I'll look it up.
The
while I'm
matchup.
trying-
No,
You're
like
talking
9
about the
versus 8. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It
Oh,
feels like
Should be the
we're-
next
the
next
other-
matchup.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant the because I was on the 70s versus 80s jersey.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter that much.
The other matchup, just old school Vancouver Grizzlies, another old school classic one from the 90s. People love. Got to throw Big Country on there. There might have been better Grizzlies players, but for me, Big Country is like the Grizzlies.
Is that Greg Ostertag?
No,
No,
it's
it's Big
That's
Country.
Brian
Brian
Reeves.
Reeves.
Brian
Reeves.
Reeves. I don't remember him. Then.
Oklahoma State.
I don't remember him.
Come on,
Those uniforms are hideous to me, so just take my vote for the Expos. Those are fucking. Whoever voted for those or like submitted those should be shot.
Those,
No.
Those are awful.
These
you
are
can-
good jerseys. That's a good jersey.
Those
man.
are good looking.
I don't like-
ugly. Like
I-
they're like ugly. They're intentionally ugly.
Way too much. Look at the pants. There's shit going on in the pants too.
Look, I don't like the trim and all that. I love the logo. I love the color. And
that's a Lollapalooza jersey.
Yeah,
oh, big time. This is a guy that's going to start a fight jersey. You know what I mean? Like the worst human
on the
alive is wearing
boardwalk.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But either
At
way,
a
good
frat
jersey.
party.
Yeah. So start with you this time, Eddie. Which jersey do you think is better? Old
Yeah,
school.
listen, I don't like these guys shitting on that Vancouver jersey too much. I like the attention to detail with the bear claws out of the Grizzlies. Well, you didn't notice that?
I mean, attention to detail. I thought that was a funny way to put it.
Well, that matters.
Yeah,
right.
you're
It's little,
right.
Yeah, it's
little-
important.
Little
Yeah.
wrinkles, exactly. I'm sure the things around the neck and the arms mean something, even though I don't know what they
I
mean.
can't even
which-
tell what it is.
Yeah, which I guess is maybe a
Kind of looks like
con-
bear claws.
Yeah, maybe a
Yeah, it
con
does.
against one. But regardless, it's a strong '90s jersey. Doesn't reach into that Magic or
Like the
do we tip
Raptors.
picks on the bracket? Yeah, I don't know if we do,
I have
but
been.
it doesn't reach into like the Magic or the Raptors. Since Dave said it, I've always strongly adored the different colored panels of the helmets and the hats from the Expos, and I like that the Braves did it too. So I'm going to go with the Expos.
One for the Expos. White Sox Dave.
Expos.
Expos, no doubt. You really don't like those Grizzlies.
I think that's a horrible jersey. It could be cool too. Just that one in particular, not for me.
All right, Chief.
I'm also on the Expos. I feel like maybe I'm getting it mixed up with like 90s Blue Jays. I don't remember the red paneling. I don't really love that as much on the.
That was in the 70s one as well. More the
Okay.
80s one got away from it. In the 90s it was all gone. The red paneling.
Okay, because I like it when and especially the Blue Jays did too, where they had like just the white
The
part in
white
the
panel,
front.
yes, that's sharp as fuck.
I love that. So I am going with the Expos. I don't think this one's particularly close for me either.
I would go between these two. I would do the Expos as well. It is more of a classic mix or classic clash of colors or whatever. I still do really like the Grizzlies ones. I don't like getting too much shit thrown at it or whatever. I think it's a good color combination. But I would also, I think Eddie's assessment is correct in that there are other 90s NBA jerseys that blow it out of the water.
Go to the Grizzlies one for a second. I want to point out how stupid this jersey is. Vancouver and then Grizzlies and the number are 3 different fonts stacked on top of each other. This is an ugly, hideous,
Good
stupid
point.
jersey.
That is a good
This is
point.
a dumb jersey that we only like because you may have been a child when it came out and you have a nostalgia attached to it.
The
And
color
that's
scheme.
That's
only
a-
reason people would like this jersey.
Nah, but it's like an ugly dogs are cute kind of thing, and
Yeah.
that's what this kind of has going for it.
Red and
It's
teal.
too-
It's good.
But like this is like the Monstars jersey or something from.
It reminds me
Yes,
of
it's a child's movie. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
It reminds me of a jersey from like a fictitious basketball team in a movie with like Jamie
Oh,
Foxx.
where it'd be like the Gotham Knights or whatever bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know. I still haven't. I like them. I'm assuming you're going.
Oh,
Expos as
Expos.
well.
I'm sorry. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So Expos is going to move on. Now we get to do our Cheah in game, playing game versus our 1 seed. Our 1 seed, You're going to see it when I click it. Our 1 seed, I don't often let my personal biases weigh too much into it. I'm sorry. It's the Chargers powder blue. I'm not going to let anyone tell me that it's not the best jersey in sports. And I know you guys are going to be like, this. I don't care. To me, the Chargers is I know enough people will say it that I feel comfortable enough throwing it up on the 1 seed. I think the Chargers powder blue with the fucking gold lightning bolt is just an all-timer. And I'll hear the arguments.
Yeah.
So I don't like the white underneath the on the shoulders. So like you have the lightning bolt there, and then you have the white underneath it. I don't like that.
You mean like the background on the bolt?
Yes.
But they would look really ugly without that.
I don't like that. I don't like. We're talking about the best of the best here. I think the Chargers have a fantastic uniform, and especially when you talk about the helmet. So that's the thing. If we're including helmets, then the Chargers
included.
move up a level for me. But if you're talking about I'm going to nitpick here a little bit. I don't like that white background. It looks goofy.
But if it was just the bolt on the shoulder straight onto the blue
I would
powder
prefer
blue,
that.
I don't think that would look as good.
All right.
Chicago guys?
Can I be honest with you about the Charger jerseys? I think for me, it's always a case of you want what you don't have. And I feel like now that they've been back for so long and integrated and like that's just Justin Herbert's jersey now, I kind of miss the navies a little bit.
They
are like
fans
the LT
miss the
jerseys.
navies.
Yeah, I almost think like the Chargers should do like a powder blue year and a navy year, and just so it's
Just
like,
rotate it.
I don't know, there's something cool that could be done with that. That's just my.
I'll give you a counterpoint in that they do an all navy jersey every now and then, and they are, I believe, in the last 5 years, like 0-10 in them. Like it is like not joking, not exaggerating. They have not won a single game in navy, and they made a big deal by bringing it back this year because they wore them for the Harbaugh versus the Ravens. They're like, we're bringing back the Navy, Harbaugh. We know we never won in this uniform before. We're gonna win this time, and the Ravens like stomped them.
But
they ripped their fucking dick off.
They did go to the Super Bowl in the Navy against the 49ers.
And got their dick stomped.
Yeah,
in.
how did that go?
But it's probably the best year they've ever had.
But
it is.
yeah.
Tell me there's
Stan
something to
Humphries.
it. Tell me there's something to it with the powder blues, the luster's a little lost. Like remember when LT they finally put it on him and it was like holy shit.
Yeah.
It's the luster's kind of gone.
The other thing I have about this specific Phillip Rivers one, I don't think that's their best version of the powder blue.
They have I feel like a few versions. This to me is like the one I more grew up in. I would say.
Okay, I don't like the ones with the black trim and the black face mask, but
Yeah, I don't either.
I like the yellow face mask.
So that's technically navy trim, to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that it's a huge difference, but
Yeah. And then okay. I mean, I don't really agree with Eddie. There's so many teams that wear navy. They're the only ones that wear like this color combo in the NFL that I think that matters, and like you see it. I love being able to turn on it.
How many are navy and yellow though?
they're navy on top.
I mean, in college football, there's a gazillion.
Yeah, but not in pros.
This is a totally unique color scheme.
There's no other. There's some
UCLA.
throwback ones that are close, like the throwback. We'll talk more
Yeah,
about
the Titans are kind of
UCLA
close.
is pretty close.
Titans
yeah.
aren't close to that. They don't have the yellow.
Throwback
like that.
Oilers.
I mean, yeah, throwback Oilers.
That's the closest one.
They don't have the yellow.
What do we got for the chain game?
Yeah, we'll show you the chain game. First off, Alabama. That's just a
Okay.
classic one.
Strong.
It was
That-
tough to.
That's the Cheah?
Yeah, well, there's going to be more. You got to wait.
Yeah, we have a whole other side. So Alabama's just a classic one. It was tough for me to like throw that in over some of the other college football ones. I know it's a classic game, but a lot of this is more like, do you associate it with the quality of the team,
Yeah.
or the aesthetic of the uniform? You know what I mean? And that was a little tougher. I think I threw more, just an actual Alabama in there. Their throwback Denver
I
ones.
forgot
think
about
have been
those.
sick. Yeah,
Those are fucking sick.
those are hot. Celtics home
Oh, this is a chain?
is a chain.
This is the most iconic uniform
Again,
in
association. Keep it in mind.
Association. The National Basketball Association. Are you fucking kidding me?
And Marlins won that.
This is the best. That is okay. I'm gonna say it right now. This is the best uniform in all of sports. This is my favorite uniform. I can't believe this is a chain. This is wild. You put your fucking Chargers. It's wild. The kid that seeds it is the same one that votes on it.
Yeah.
This is fucking corrupt as fuck.
No corruption.
And this should have its own thing in a bracket. This Marlins uniform. Look at that, boys.
It's
That
great.
is-
No.
That is
you're
the
wrong.
greatest uniform. I have to choose this over the Celtics. That's wrong.
You're
this
wrong.
Is a fantastic.
They're pinstripes with the teal pinstripes and the teal helmet and hats were their best uniforms.
That's their home. I like the road better.
And they're starting to wear them again, and they are the best uniforms in all of baseball,
Can you
and
believe
there's
this
not a
is
close
Cheah?
second.
Can you believe what we're doing here?
These teams, they mess up good things all the time.
Seriously.
Because the Marlins have gotten so funky and weird and ugly. Like they had one of the best. Just whatever one you like the best. Like this era was way better than what they've had
Everything,
in the last 10 years.
There's a slow-mo video. It's like burned into my mind of Jazz Chisholm going yard for the Marlins, and all I can focus on it's nothing about like the swing or anything. It's just how fucking cool the uniform looks like.
So great.
Klemmer wanted one of the 90s Mets on here.
I like
one of the
90s Mets
87
too.
Mets. It's a very different uniform than that.
Yeah.
I had the New York
I thought you said 90s Mets
I
on your
said
thing.
87 Mets.
Right, 87 Mets.
Very different uniform than that.
Nigeria soccer is one that's brought up a lot. That's like as far as like
They're
World
sick.
Cup
That one.
or international uniforms go.
Yeah.
In soccer, it's always considered one of the top ones. They usually have a great design, and they
Yep.
are sick to watch until they play a real team, and then they get just obliterated.
Correct. The only problem with the soccer jerseys is, aside from like a couple, they're always different. They're always changing, and it's always going to bother me.
Yeah, not that I know a thing about soccer, but I feel like they don't even really have uniforms.
No, they do.
Obviously they do, but like you said, they change.
Every
so much.
team has like one primary color that's their home uniform. Like Nigeria is that kind of funky green, and then they fuck around with their other ones. They have an away and then a third.
Yeah, and like with some of the club teams, it was tougher too because like they're just plastered with ads, and like it's very difficult to nail down like a more iconic
Totally.
one. Like Brazil, you could put on here for international, like the Czech,
Yep.
or not Czech,
Croatia,
teams usually has a sick one. A couple of the other soccer ones.
Netherlands, yeah.
Yeah, Netherlands, man, in the mid 2000s, they had some sick uniforms in
Yeah.
the full orange. Yeah, but Nigeria is one that gets brought up a lot. And like you mentioned before, retro Oilers ones get brought up a lot. They were really cool, and when every now and then when the Titans go back to it, it does look great.
It's so bullshit the Titans go back to it. They fucking move the team. You're not allowed to then steal the uniform.
I agree.
That should stay in Houston. That should be the Texans' alternate uniform.
How about when the University of Houston wore that color scheme? They got a cease and desist from the NFL about wearing like Houston Oilers colors.
That's such bullshit. Like,
I
you
agree.
stole their team.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Penguins was one, as far as like hockey ones, gets brought up a lot too.
Really?
Yeah, that was weirdly brought
I
up
always
a
feel
lot.
like they ripped off the Bruins. No?
It was also
you guys
like-
are hockey guys. You know better than I do.
I think Eddie drafted
I
this.
did.
Yes.
Yeah, I like this jersey.
Yeah, that's a good jersey.
It's a good jersey.
It's a solid jersey.
It's
Okay,
like
so
a
between
penguin with
the
a hockey stick.
we'll run through the chain games or chain options one more time. Start with you, Klemmer.
like
Alabama, Denver.
Sorry, just to clarify, do we pick one our favorite of these?
Yes.
Your favorite
I mean,
of these?
these
Yes.
all should be in the.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Look, you'll see when we get to the other side. And then
Over
maybe you'll change
that.
it.
we already saw it.
Memphis
You
jersey?
picked the Vancouver Grizzlies over the Celtics.
It was one of the most submitted options. Everyone was picking it.
No, I don't,
Look, you guys might not have had it. If
This
it gets,
is
if it gets,
fucking wild.
if a lot of people are submitting it, I'm going to include it.
I guess. I mean, I don't know who you're asking. Blind people. I guess I'm going to go with the Marlins here.
The Marlins,
The best of this like all-star list here. Yes.
one for the Marlins. Between this grouping, it's actually I think I would go with this Marlins one too. I like it a lot. In fact, I think whoever seeded it probably should have included it in the main bracket. Chief.
I'm going between the Denver Broncos and the Houston Oilers. I think that's the cleanest uniform. There's something about that color helmet, that light blue, and like that, it's like that Colorado sky. I love something that no other teams I feel like have ever done is the spacing on the stripes of the Houston Oiler helmet, which I think looks pretty sweet. Like it's a little bit wider and fatter. Like I think that's cool. I don't know why people don't do like that 5-stripe kind of look. But I'm going Denver Broncos.
So
Orange Crush.
Two for the Marlins, one for the Broncos. Dave.
That's not the correct Marlins jersey. Let me reiterate that. I'm going to go with the Broncos out of this one.
So two for the Broncos, two for the Marlins. Eddie, you're going to either tiebreak or
Yeah,
be
so
annoying.
I was between three, and one was the Oilers, but I'll eliminate it for obvious reasons. The other two I was between was the Marlins and the Broncos. I had an Eddie George jersey growing up that I wore to football practice.
Okay.
It's a fish out of water, being a lineman, but still, it was still nice. My name was Eddie, but even though it said George on the back. I'm gonna go with the Marlins solely because, and I like the Broncos a lot, but I think they use them just enough to make them still really cool. I think if they were full time back, I don't know how much I'd like it.
So, see,
That's my take.
I
I
think
like to get fed something just the right amount and then
guess.
demand it back.
But, like,
That's kind of how I am.
When the Broncos, when Elway won the Super Bowl, I remember being like, I was like 11. I'm like, this is the biggest uniform downgrade of all time. Like when I was 11, like I'm like, these new Broncos jerseys suck.
But I think if they went away for 20 years, people would want these ones back.
I don't think so.
I do. I think everything that goes out of style goes back into style. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fashion is cyclical.
Yeah,
but some
I
of them
think so.
stand the test of time, like Notre Dame and USC, and like some jerseys are just always great. And I think for me, the Broncos are in that category.
I just love that teal hat. It's so nice, and I want to give a take too. And I don't. This is not, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the draft. Actually, I don't like when sports teams take the name of the state. Well, granted,
I mean, like
I
the
know,
Texans or like the
like the Colorado Rockies or the Florida Marlins, and I know they're the Miami Marlins now. I just don't like that. Just be the
I think it
Golden State.
that one's weird, but I think
Gotcha.
Be the fucking city where you're at.
How do you feel about the New England Patriots?
state.
Hate it? Hate it. Be the Boston Patriots.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Like
They used
as a
to be,
kid,
right?
growing up in New Hampshire, like I hate the Patriots because I lived in New York first. But like a lot of my friends liked it because it felt like that represented them more
It
than
was
say,
their
the
regional
Boston Red
team.
Sox. And like the Florida Marlins were the first team in Florida. Only like then the Devil Rays came in. But I don't know. I guess if you live in that state, it must be nice if you're not in the city to have something to represent you. Know.
But you're still going to gravitate towards that anyways.
Yeah.
They're not. People aren't stupid. Oh, it's got the.
No, but isn't it nice
It
to
is-
wear a jersey that says your state as opposed to a city you might not even like, you live very far away from?
You must hate the state of Minnesota because all their teams are the Minnesota whatever's.
Yeah, no.
T-Wolves,
You know what?
T-Wolves,
That
Vikings,
never even occurred.
Wild
Minneapolis
Twins.
Vikings would be so gross.
Yeah.
But I guess Minnesota's different because they don't really have a competing city within.
So as long as
Right.
that's the only one.
Yes, like as long as you're the big dog, I'm fine
Well,
with
Colorado then, right?
Yeah, Colorado would fit.
You don't
They
like the
should be okay with that.
California Angels?
it. No,
Oh, that was so much better than what it is now. I don't even like
Anaheim,
saying
who
it.
the fuck are you to
So-
say you're California? You're not California.
Yeah,
dude.
there's
Fucking
like 4 other
Dodgers. Yeah, well,
teams.
granted they moved there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What
Were
about-
the Angels? No, when were the Angels? The '60s, right?
No,
so they were after the move.
Dodgers moved to LA in '58. The Angels became a team in '61, but at that
Yeah.
point they were the Los Angeles Angels. They
Right.
became the
Oh.
California Angels later on.
I did
and then
not
the
know
Anaheim
that.
Angels and then the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I think the Denver Rockies is just fine
Sounds
Colorado
right.
Well, you
Rockies.
just
Yeah.
said it's
because
the-
you know it. That's why you said.
What
it.
about?
But
want it
you
to be
just
the
said if it's the
Phoenix-
only
the
major
Phoenix
there's no other
Diamondbacks.
The Phoenix Diamondbacks, like when they went from the Phoenix Coyotes to the Arizona Coyotes, I hated them even more. Idiots. Why?
Well, they're playing like an hour north of.
Fuck them. What like the
You want to be the Glendale Coyotes?
Yeah, like do people really not? I'm not a fan because
But
they're
then
from
there's other
Phoenix.
teams like the fucking Giants and the Jets that don't even play in New York.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm Tucson strong. I'm not rooting for the Phoenix Coyotes.
I'm too
Fuck off.
Like you wouldn't want them to be like would you want them to be like the tri-state Giants or something? Like you know what I mean? Like it just makes more sense I think to have it as a city in certain
I
sense. There's
guess.
just more like pride to it. I don't know. Even though it doesn't make sense like the Giants and Jets.
The Newark Nets.
The Newark Giants, Newark Jets. It kind of rolls off the tongue because it sounds so similar.
So that's the only reason why.
You want to call them like the what do you call it?
They're the New York Jets.
I'm
The
finding
New
out-
York Giants.
I'm finding out through this argument that there are exceptions to my rule, but generally
The whole
I
state of
stand-
Minnesota.
Minnesota state. Yeah, except-
But like
yeah,
you
exception.
just said that. But Denver's the only major city in Colorado, so why can't they be the Denver Rockies?
But that could probably be an exception too. But Denver Nuggets is solid. Colorado Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets sounds great. You can't. Colorado Nuggets just doesn't sound as nice.
I think you're right. That it's just what you're used to.
It's just what you're used to.
Yeah.
Eddie must love the Seattle teams because they were all Seattle, even though they could easily be Washington. But no, they're
Same
Seattle.
thing. Same thing with Atlanta.
Yes.
Oh, like the Washington Seahawks would be. That's bad because
bad.
you lose alliteration.
You do.
Alliteration makes every team name
That
better.
probably would have been a different
That's
name,
nice.
probably.
Yeah.
Illinois White Sox. Let's just top them in.
Yeah.
That's how
That
you,
sounds horrible.
That's how you expand.
Illinois White Sox,
Oh,
Illinois
that's
Cubs.
hor- oh,
that's,
yeah,
bad.
that's bad.
That's
That-
actually bad.
Chicago has like a
That's when Jerry
rhythm
moves
to
the
it.
team to Aurora.
Yeah.
The Illinois White Sox.
88 and 59. That was one of the spots. Basically,
Okay,
Aurora.
so now it's going to be this Marlins uniform versus the Chargers powder blue, and I definitely set up my boys for failure in this sense. But Eddie, what do you got?
Oh man. Fuck. This is really hard, man.
It's a matchup of the Blues.
I'm still gonna go with. I'm gonna stick with the Chargers. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
gonna stick with the Chargers though. But I'm thinking LT. I don't want. I'm not. 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 I'm not looking at that picture of Phillip Rivers right now.
You're thinking of Rivers and Jay Cutler going back and forth and trash talking, right?
Didn't
No.
LT play with Rivers from
Yeah,
that?
but like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit long time.
Yeah.
Very long.
but there's something about LT and like an older one with like maybe a little bigger around the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
That's why, like, this is a new Phillip Rivers.
The visor.
That might be Phillip Rivers like last year.
Yeah, in his last year with the Chargers.
This, I think, I can't see what brand it was. If it was Reebok, then it's like 2016.
Yeah, this looks like
But this looks a
too
little bit
new.
newer, yeah. Because they definitely lightened it a little. So one for the Chargers, powder blue. Dave.
I just sent you guys the correct Marlins jersey that we're
What's
voting
the home?
for.
It's the 93. I mean, either one.
And I want you guys to know that I would be voting for this jersey over the Chargers powder blue, but since it's the jersey that we are voting on, I'm going with the powder blue.
Wait, because your tax, I was going to say it swayed me.
When I'm voting on this one, though, that's the coolest jersey in baseball right
That's
now.
great. I like the road one better. You should have nominated the home one. Then we could have had a competing one. Why don't you do that, Dave? If it's the best jersey in
Yeah,
baseball.
Dave.
I did.
You nominated the Marlins?
No, I forgot about it until the conversation.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
I thought so. I didn't think
Until the Marlins
So you're
popped
being
up.
critical about something you forgot. All right, just to make sure.
Welcome to organizing something with White Sox Dave Kenjac.
So two for the powder blues.
Oh, Power Blues are going to win then. There we go.
I think it looks better to me.
Hey, anything can happen. I could be swayed either way.
I was going to go Marlins based off of that Dave video of Jazz Chisholm. I think those are sweet.
They have the teal belts, too. Everything
That's
about
not the
that
same
uniform
jersey.
is perfect.
I know, so I guess I'll go Powders.
All right, so another one for the powder blues. Unfortunately, it seems like my vote's not going to count, but I would have gone for
It's
the
why it's
Chargers powder blues here.
That's fine, I guess. That's a taste thing. The idea that the Celtics jersey is not in this real bracket is to me is mind-boggling. I thought that was like just the automatic.
I thought that that was the first one I thought of. Alabama and Notre Dame are my two favorite uniforms in all of sports.
I think Notre Dame has something. I don't know what it is. It's like I guess it's like an objective or subjective taste thing. It has that something that I think Alabama doesn't. And again, Alabama wildly more successful in football terms, but it's just like you don't associate it with that. Just pure aesthetic feel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't know. Okay, before we get to the second half, let's talk about our next sponsor of the day, which is, let me just pull it up, ZocDoc, which is actually great because I use ZocDoc to do half of these appointments I was telling you about, which was
For your butthole.
the butthole, myriad of things that I had to get fixed over the last 3 weeks. Have you ever woken up with a funky system, like, let's say, in this case, a hurt butthole or a swollen itchy eye, funky looking rash, tight pain in your neck, and then immediately Googled it or searched TikTok to see what's wrong? People do that, by the way. That's something I realize young people do. Anytime they have an issue, like where we used to go in WebMD and just be told, hey, everything you have is a mortal issue, they go on TikTok and see like other people talk about it, which is bad also. Well, we've gone down that rabbit hole, but it's time to go and take care of you with ZocDoc. It is the free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health to primary to urgent care and more. You can filter doctors that take your insurance, are located nearby, or could fit with your medical needs or whatever you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. Appointments made through ZocDoc also happen fast, typically within 24 and 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. That's exactly what I did. Stop putting all those doctors' appointments, putting off all those doctors' appointments. Go to ZocDoc.com/lights and find and book top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/lights, ZocDoc.com/lights. Shout out to our friends over at ZocDoc. All right, other side of the bracket, we have the 11 seed versus the 6 seed. 11 seed, we talked about it a little bit before. Old school purple Raptors, baby. Just something about that goddamn red dinosaur. Nothing like the color scheme. I don't know where they grafted it from. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it has to do with Toronto or whatever. It's
Barney.
Fucking, I don't get it. But love this uniform. I'm assuming you guys, you're all 90s kids for the most part.
Yeah.
80s kids, late 80s kids growing up. This is just an all-timer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Klemmer?
It's fine. I'm still kind of apoplectic about like I'm hoping we see the Lakers on here eventually. The Celtics and Lakers, if they're not on this bracket, and we have Raptors and Grizzlies, like because it's like 90s, cartoon characters, like that to me is fucking insane. That is insane.
What's wrong with the dinosaur?
It's fine, but I mean, we talk about the greatest jerseys, the greatest uniforms of all time, and we have the '90s Raptors and '90s Grizzlies. We don't have the Celtics or Lakers. To me, is a more.
No one said we didn't have the Lakers.
Okay, and I hate the Lakers. I'm just saying.
If we had the Lakers, not the Celtics, you'd be pissed.
Yeah, but it's
The Raptors going up against another basketball jersey, UNC. Just classic ones. I tried to find one of Jordan without the excessive white trim because I like it when it's more of the full blue. Very difficult to find.
I actually like the white trim.
You like the extra? This is like 2 inches of white trim across the entire thing. It's fucking crazy.
that's a lot.
But it's one of the classic. I think, at least in my head. Again, I'm not going to claim to be the world's #1 college basketball fan or anything like that. But it's like one of, in my head, the college basketball jerseys. Love their blue. Obviously, and Jordan helped even more make it what it is today. So Raptors, old school Raptors versus UNC. Klemmer.
UNC, and by quite a bit here. I mean, the blue there is not just iconic, but it also just looks really sharp. It hasn't gone out of style. You're right. The white trim has been a little adjustments here and there, but all in all, and I'm not a college basketball fan at all, that's just a sharp jersey. It's just a sharp look. It looks great. Even on the logo on the floor, I know it's not uniform, but just that color scheme just looks good. Even now, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we have a lot of blues on here.
We do. I love blue on jerseys. I love like a powder blue.
Yeah, it plays
Teal
for
blue,
everybody.
if it's done right. Yeah.
I think the first time I really got into it was the Suns drafted Kendall Marshall, so I went and watched like all of his highlights from UNC, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the best player of all time. He's going to replace Steve Nash. He's going to be incredible. Terrible. That whole team pretty much fizzled out except for like Harrison Barnes. It was like him and like John Henson and like a couple other guys from that, whoever it was. None of them were good except for Harrison Barnes.
But even Harrison Barnes coming out of high school, they were like, this is the next Kobe.
Yeah.
And he was like, he had a good career, but he was not.
He stayed 2 years in college too.
Yeah.
He wasn't even one and done.
So one for UNC. Between these two, the UNC is significantly more classic. I think the Raptors one is cooler, but which one of these jerseys is better? I'd probably say UNC. And again, it's because like the Raptors one, I don't think it's like the best basketball jersey. I think UNC is probably to me my more limited college basketball knowledge. It is like the college basketball jersey. Chief.
I'm going UNC. The Raptors jersey, I stayed quiet when you guys were sucking it off a little bit. It never really did it for me. I love that UNC jersey. I don't know if that is my favorite UNC jersey. I love the one where they have like the Argyle trim on the shorts and like up the sides. But this to me, like this is similar in a way to like the Alabama football. Like it's just like you know what it is when you turn on the TV. And I agree with Klemmer that I don't know why this is a thing in my brain. I love it when college basketball teams have the state outline on their court.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
whether it's
Me too.
Indiana
Yeah.
or North Carolina or whatever, a
lot of teams are doing it now. Like Nebraska has it, and it's so bad because it's just like
Ohio State does it a little bit. Like they have it like a different color.
I think Illinois does it now. Doesn't
I think Illinois does it.
Do they?
To me, it always plays. It always plays. I love seeing the state outline on the court. I can't explain why. North Carolina, to me, is the best version of that, and I do love this uniform. We could have gone Vince Carter off here, Kenjac, for photos.
I guess, yeah. Let's try again. Trying to pick like the definitive player from each jersey. I think Raptors is still Vince, but
Definitely.
North Carolina it wouldn't be. So it's going to win, but Dave?
I'm going with the Raptors. Like Ed said it, I don't know. He used the description earlier. Like there's a charm in how ugly it is. Oh, like the ugly dog. I think that this one is so much better for that description than the Grizzlies one. So I'm going with the Raptors, even though I do love that Carolina jersey.
Such a great font, Raptors, too.
Yeah, I think Chief and Klemmer are just worried about getting crossed up and fucking dummied by that Raptor. That's why they hate it so much.
He does have a basketball.
You know how dumb this jersey is, Eddie? Look at the jersey the dinosaurs
Klemmer.
wear. It's not even the same jersey as Vince is wearing.
That's a good point.
That proves how
just now
stupid
noticed
this
that.
jersey is.
I just now noticed
That's
that.
a good,
That's a good
like,
point.
That's the Raptor is wearing a rec league jersey.
Like
Hey,
a Rutgers
Klemmer?
jersey.
Hey, Klemmer, don't tell me to look at the fine print, motherfucker, okay? Let me like the Raptor for who he is. On that note, I'm going to go UNC because UNC is just great. I don't really like that old school one very much, but I like the white Carolinas more actually.
I think do too.
And they got us to, and I bought so many Carolina hats as a kid. They got us to wear just like memorabilia with a footprint on it.
Yeah, the heel.
Yes,
Yeah,
like that's how good their memorabilia is. We could wear just literally an arts and crafts 6th grade foot on our head. That's how good it is. So
it's great. And that raptor with his short little arms is not crossing me up, for the record. I'd put that raptor in a box.
no.
Did Jordan, being who he was, make anyone from Chicago like UNC fans?
It was
I would
so
assume
far
no.
before.
Yeah, I didn't wear that because Jordan went there.
Yeah.
To be clear, I was just.
I
like,
had
liked
friends
the
who
color.
were UNC fans because of Jordan.
Because of Jordan. Okay. All right. So UNC is going to move on. Now we have the 3 seed versus the 14 seed. 3 seed Blackhawks. Among the hockey world, it's one of the all-timers. As far as like hockey jerseys and the ones that were submitted for this one by fans, it is, I would say, one of the most submitted ones. It is classic, just red on white. I think it's just a winning combination, almost no matter what, as far as like a jersey color combination goes. And that is going up against. Klemmer's gonna shit his pants.
Ew.
I get
Let me tell you something.
on.
Let me tell you about the Rockies, or the Rockets jersey. This Rockets jersey, it's our 14th seed here. One of the most submitted options that we had on this entire thing. People fucking love this old school Rockets jersey. This and the other 2 throwback ones, which you mentioned earlier, were probably the 3 most submitted basketball ones by far. But people love this old school Rockets one. I like it to a degree. I was like, when I was trying to see it, I was like, I don't know where to put this because I personally don't like it, but I get why people like it a lot. Like I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt there, but had to throw it in.
Kenjac, don't back down because that asshole sighing next to you. It's a good jersey.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I
it
don't
is.
personally love it.
The Rocket has a face.
What's
That's
wrong
kind of
with
cool.
that?
That's actually cool. I
Why
like
does
that.
the Rocket need a face?
They put that on like bombers in like World War II and shit.
But they
I think
didn't
it's
put it
kinda
on
cool.
rockets.
Yeah, they signed
They might
Rockets.
have.
They signed them, but they didn't. That's a rocket for going into space. It's Houston. It's a space station.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
They didn't put
They don't put a
faces
face
on.
on a spaceship.
Maybe if they did, the
Correct.
Challenger wouldn't have blown up. I mean, it might have been that helped. It couldn't have hurt.
What's wrong with personifying non-persons?
What?
Well, that's what they.
That's
if
what
you-
they did with
if
the
you notice
Raptor.
a trend here, with the Raptor once again wearing
And
it like it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just like this was like hideous. Even in its time, we all kind of made fun of this. Like this is ugly.
So Eddie, you're up first. The Rockets jersey versus the Blackhawks. It's gonna be. I have a feeling I know which way this is going.
Yeah, I mean the Rockets one is another thing that I think is like a big festival jersey too.
Oh, for sure.
That-
The
that
worst
would
I
person
feel
you
like
know
I
is
don't
wearing
see that one like ever.
Yeah, like that would play there. And I remember like the jarringness of seeing Pippen wearing that for the first time.
That was jarring.
Yeah, it was jarring.
Oh, yeah.
but there was something that I've always liked about it because naturally I still liked Pippen when he left. With that said, I'm going Blackhawks, but I'm going to say something that might shock you, and I love the Blackhawks uniform. It's one of those things where I maybe take it for granted just because I've known it my whole life. And like everyone outside of Chicago seems to really fucking love it, which is awesome. That's makes me happy. But I don't know. Maybe I just take it for granted a little bit because it's always been what I know.
I think you probably do. I actually like the white ones better. I think they're a little cleaner. And while I don't want to criticize our host here, the logo makes the jersey, and the logo is not shown in this picture.
Can you give the history lesson real quick?
Give the history
Because I
lesson.
think it's a good history lesson on the logo.
On the logo, it's an artist rendering of a guy named Chief Blackhawk, who is basically, the easiest way to sum it up is he was a Native American braveheart. So they pushed him off the land in Illinois, across the Mississippi River into Iowa. So he took all these tribes that had been like warring against each other for forever and unified them and led a charge back into Illinois to try to reclaim their land. Didn't work. But then he got captured and they brought him to Washington, D.C. And I can't remember who the president was at the time. It might have been like Polk or somebody like that. He was like, just don't ever do that again. And he like let him go. But he fought an Illinois militia, and Abraham Lincoln was on the battlefield.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, and then there was a World War I unit named after him.
That's what I was-
And
yeah.
then that was what the Blackhawk name came from.
Huh.
So it's a testament to
It's an
him.
actual guy.
It's
Yeah.
a person, not a tribe.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That's really interesting.
I always thought it was
Yeah.
a tribe.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I
so don't
didn't
go-
know anything about it.
Don't go in front of the fucking Jordan statue and protest it, Klemmer, because it's
Me?
That's the first guy that would be doing that for sure.
Oh yeah. You got me pegged.
So we have one for the Blackhawks from Eddie, Dave.
Blackhawks, it's awesome.
It is.
And,
it is
and
great.
that Rockets uniform's complete and total trash in every way.
Thank you,
Chief.
I agree with everything Dave just said. I hate that Rockets jersey.
Between these two, again, I included it because of the amount of submissions, but I would go with Blackhawks as well.
Yeah, what I like about the Blackhawks jersey, like you said, the logo. Something about that color scheme. It's very unique. Like it's just you don't see those colors blended together all that often, and for some reason it really works. And I'm not a big hockey guy at all. Like I didn't know any of that Blackhawks. That was really interesting. But I like this jersey a lot. And it just feels, even though it's like an original 6 team, right? Are they original 6, Chicago Blackhawks?
Yep.
So like even though like they're so old school, there's something that feels kind of newish about it. I think because those colors are so unique blended together.
I just like crimson on white. Like it's just such it's a great combination. So Blackhawks are going to move on. Now we have the 10 seed versus the 7 seed.
Is this just like 90s? Is this all this is? Just like shitty 90s
Who did you
jerseys?
poll? Someone born in
Yeah,
1988?
Yeah, look, like, there's a whole world out there.
So I put the submissions out on Twitter.
I am officially angry.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'll give you guys the chance if you want. If you want, we can sub
The
this in.
chain game should have replaced like half these uniforms.
No
Yeah.
shit.
You guys want to swap one of these with a chain option? I'll do it right now.
Did you think we were gonna like these?
Say the quote.
The bracket is the bracket, but I'm mad at the people who did these submissions.
I put the call out on Twitter. I put the call out on Instagram. I just try it. Whenever one is mentioned a bunch of times, I'm going to include it. And as far as basketball ones go, these 90s ones were the ones mentioned the most out of
Because
all the
they're like
basketball
the
ones.
silliest.
I don't know if it's because of the silliest, mate. It's because, again, the exclusivity, what you can have versus Lakers and Celtics, which you see every single day. And you don't associate maybe with a specific, I don't know, time period.
Like even the Phoenix Suns. I know you're a Suns fan.
I love
like,
the old
that.
Phoenix Suns.
Those jerseys are classic.
I would have
I
loved to
agree.
put that there. No one's
like
fucking
this
submitted
is
it.
like this is just all like shitty old retro like
yeah, like
you know
the
crap.
I do actually like these ones. Out of all the Metro ones, I
You
think
like
this is
all of
actually-
these.
I didn't. I just said I don't like the Rockets one.
You like the other two a lot.
I like
You were advocating the Grizzlies one.
I like the Grizzlies
And the
color scheme a
Raptors
lot.
one you
I like the Grizzlies one a lot, and I like the Raptors one. I like this one. I think maybe not the most out of all of them, but I do like this one. Again, maybe that's just like a blue and white color scheme thing. And I like this. I think this Pistons logo is way better than anything else they've done, logo wise. Where now they just have like the basketball kind of as their logo. That I think is dumb. I think this is cool with the fucking exhaust pipes and the fucking horse, the actual piston like fucking horsepower shit.
Fuck
I think
yeah,
that's cool.
got that piston. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is sick.
I have another thought about jerseys in general, that if you have won a championship in a jersey, you can never change.
Oh.
So I think that that's what your jersey is till the end of time, and it's like a link to your best days, and you should always try to keep that alive. So then the Pistons, the bad boys,
Yeah.
like that's an iconic team, and then 6 years later they change everything about what that era was, and to like have Grant Hill on his shitty ankles have this stupid horse with the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
His ankles were not shitty yet. Take it
Yeah.
easy.
By the way,
don't
this
know.
Say that for Orlando.
is probably the one
Yeah,
player
true.
on here where he's not the player from that team, but he's the player from like this era, I guess. Of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pistons
He's the best
basketball.
player of that uniform.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't think of anyone else for that uniform.
No, absolutely not.
Who was another player who wore that?
What
I
year
think
is
Joe.
this?
I think Joe Dumars did. Didn't he? Like, a couple years.
Was he still there?
Yeah, he was there until he was the last one to leave. I want to say
Damn.
Joe Dumars might have won that. I could be wrong.
But I think Grant Hill's the guy out of that group.
Yes, I would agree.
Who's this facing?
So the Pistons retro, and it's going up against another classic, just Yankees white pinstripe. That's just, it's like, again, you think whatever you want or hate or love the Yankees, whatever. Like the pinstripes are like, that's one of the baseball uniforms. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, it's a classic. It deserved to be.
This is a tomato can for the Yankees.
And get this, Kenjac, what team do you root for again? Baseball team?
I'm a fan of the Yankees.
Oh, okay.
Just I didn't look.
If you're gonna vote, it needs to be an independent seater.
Look, I don't get to decide. You guys get to decide.
You have a vote. You're 20% of who's deciding.
Fine. I won't even vote this time.
No, you have to vote.
I won't even
No,
vote.
you have to vote. You're voting. You're voting.
So
You don't have to vote this time.
Klemmer,
Right.
Klemmer, you're first.
Yankees, obviously.
Yankees, obviously. I'll save my vote for last. Maybe I need to be a tiebreaker. Chief.
Yankees.
Yankees.
Yankees. Eddie.
I just want to chime in quickly. That Pistons jersey is a classic 90s jersey. I understand. I'm an old head in a lot of ways, but just because all these three guys are, want you to make sure you shake their hand when you walk in the household and stand up and be a man. Like, it's okay that there was another period of another generation. Clearly, the ones that submitted to Kenjac like these
That's
jerseys.
the only things we've submitted is that generation, though. I would push back, Eddie, and say that there are other generations besides this one.
But guys, I think cool and classic can be distinguished here,
Sure.
right? And
Yes.
with that said,
I told you I love the Magic one.
yeah, I know
The Magic
I know.
one is the best of these.
Yeah.
The Raptors
yeah,
are sweet.
Yeah, Klemmer's really the guy I'm talking to. here.
Okay.
But
But you're ignoring every other generation but this one.
and you're ignoring this generation.
I'm not. I said the Magic one is good. I don't think we need to be half the bracket of the greatest uniforms ever don't need to come from the same 4-year period. That's fucking crazy.
I also think there's a reason why
That black horse is nice.
it looks like a chess piece.
Yeah.
Bro, it's on fire and it's got fucking exhaust pipes. That's cool.
It's not
It's
even
a
a good chess
fucking
piece.
There's a knight.
It's a fucking L-shaped
Yeah.
loser.
With that said, I love the Yankees memorabilia. So Yankees.
Yeah, Yankees. Yankees are gonna move on. What's wrong with the Yankees jersey? Is that what you're
Literally
shaking your head
nothing.
at?
No, I'm shaking my head at the fact that we.
Oh, I hope we got the last
everything.
one.
This whole bracket is just it's whatever.
This is the last matchup coming up.
Oh, I hope it's so retro. I hope it's
Yeah,
so
me too.
90s.
I almost want to try to guess it.
I wish more than anything that it was just a very retro fucking like I don't know. I can't even what is the worst
Denver
possible
Nuggets or
90s.
I think we've seen them already.
I think that you could do a draft of just
Supersonics.
90s,
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, you should have done that.
Look, I just went by what people said. What people said they wanted.
Poor Kenjac is getting fucking smoked.
I'm
Well
on
deserved.
Kendrick's side.
Look, I just put what people said they wanted on here. I put the submissions up. People submitted
wanted.
what they submitted, and I'm gonna say I'm not gonna fight with what people want. They give them what they
There
want.
you
That's
go.
it. Just Raiders. That's our number 2 seed.
Raiders.
Classic Raiders. Black on white. As much as I fucking hate that franchise more than anything, just scumbag losers, including you, fucking Condor loser ass and Antonio Pierce loser franchise. But
They just fired him.
what did they just fire?
They just
right
fired
now?
him. Antonio Pierce was just
Yeah, it
fired.
didn't make it.
no.
Good.
Like,
Glad,
as
glad
we
we retired
speak.
your ass, you fucking
we
bum.
speak.
That
Yeah.
sucks. We don't like that. We don't like open jobs while we have an open
No,
job.
I'm with you guys. Same here.
Let's see.
As
where-
we speak, yeah.
I hate that.
Great. Where I don't
It's
even-
fine. They're gonna Brady's gonna hire Vrabel.
Oh, I hope so. Keep him with the Patriots. I'm all for that.
Well, I'm glad we retired him after him doing a victory lap over beating our third string guys with like 60 points in last year. Good for him, and got him high. And who was it? Fucking Condor got him hired too. What's his name? Max Crosby. He got him. He was like, I'm gonna leave if you don't hire Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, they
And-
all wanted him to stick around.
Yeah, got him hired and then fucking made you suck ass. Anyway, Raiders. As much as I hate them, classic jersey. It's just it's great, and I think that this is one of the ones where out of all the jerseys here, this one proliferated in a popular culture the most. Like cool people were wearing Raiders jerseys. You know what I mean? Which helps the case here a lot. So the Raiders, and that's going up against just the Red Wings. I was trying to think of like which Red Wings jersey to go with, and I think
It's
this
always
is
been this one.
yeah, I just like I don't know what other way to go. Like I like the red ones too. I think the white base,
okay.
red outside is better than red inside, white out. Is that if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gordy just is like the Mr. Hockey, all that stuff. So Raiders versus the Red Wings. Start with you, Eddie.
This one's harder than I thought it was going to be. Because I like growing up watching Ferris Bueller, like I was like, I hate how much I like that jersey.
I know.
Poor Cameron.
Why did they have that jersey in the movie?
I don't know.
There's
Good
some
question.
Yeah, there's some explanation that people have used, but I forget what it is.
Maybe Cameron was such a like a contrarian. He would
he
wear
like
that
hated
in
his,
Chicago.
Yeah, he like hated his dad. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
could see his dad being like a big Chicago sports fan. Maybe that was his like fuck you to him. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's a good question.
Yeah, and were they blacked out by then? No, probably not.
No. They might have been on like Sport Vision or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Sport
with that
Vision.
said, there's something nice about those silver pants and those black jerseys. Like Garoppolo, just like a handsome man, that made him even better.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna go with the
I-
Raiders.
Okay.
One for the Raiders. Dave.
I'm going the Red Wings. I submitted the Red Wings. I love those uniforms. They're sweet. And that logo it's theirs.
Awesome.
Just black and silver, and like I guess the Raiders have their own like very, very specific logo, but the Red Wings is just sweet. What even? It's
a winged wheel.
It's a winged wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the auto industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which like just isn't there anymore, which is kind of sad.
And I feel like the logo's never really changed.
No,
Yeah.
it's never changed.
Yeah.
Chief.
I'm going with the Wings. I think the original 6 jerseys across the board, the only one I don't really like is the Bruins. All the other ones are so clean. They're so crisp. This, regrettably, was my childhood, was just watching the Wings beat the fuck out of everybody, and including the Blackhawks, obviously. But I think that is just such a class. I love the Leafs one in that picture too. I think those are great as well. And but yeah, that Red Wing jersey, it is. I think the league is better when that jersey is on TV in the playoffs. So I'm done with them being so terrible. I'd like to see the Wings come back to be more relevant because that's an awesome jersey. And on that note, something has clicked in my brains where I look at the Raiders, I'm like, that's a loser jersey.
It is. Just has been.
Yeah. Since what?
whole life.
25 years.
Rich
They haven't made a Super Bowl since 2000.
Since
Dude, they haven't made
since
like
Rich
the fucking
Gannon.
playoffs.
2001.
Like forever. They haven't won a playoff game since like 2002
Really?
or some shit. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking loser franchise, man. So yeah, that's gonna be another one for the Red Wings. Between these two, I can't pretend that like I like the Red Wings one is significantly like it's a crisper jersey. Like I think it looks really good, but as like a lifelong football fan, I have to go with the Raiders, and it's one where I hate this franchise, and I hate seeing them, and I love when we stomp their fucking dick in the dirt, and even into that jersey, it's a clean jersey. It's the black on silver is just it's such. And again, the fact that it proliferated so much more into popular culture, I think, helps it a lot too. So
I think it proliferated into popular culture because they were like the bad boys. Like they had like an identity. It was like their name and their jersey and and it fit like who their players were. Like they had all these like
It's like an NWA thing.
yeah, like these renegade, steroid, stomp on you, like these crazy guys.
Like, coincidentally, like the Pistons, or like almost right.
Yeah,
Detroit.
right. And it like fit. And now it's just like, look at these fucking losers.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a fake person, but I'm pretty sure Steve Latimer's in the Hall of Fame for them. From the program. Please tell me you guys have seen the program.
I actually have never
With James
seen
Caan?
it.
Yes, with James
I saw it
Caan.
years ago. I don't remember the name.
It's such a bad movie, but it's such a fucking awesome movie.
It's a pretty wild ride, if I remember.
It is.
Yeah.
Steve Latimore's a completely juiced up defensive end who's like smashing car windows with his forehead and shit. That's who the
Doesn't he have the kids like lay in the highway in that?
on the train tracks, yeah.
On the train track. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're 2-2.
But
Klemmer,
yeah.
We're gonna break it.
Yeah, so is this our last matchup?
This is the last matchup.
Okay, so I'm going to stand on business one last time here and say that the idea that the Lakers, who I hate the Lakers more than anything, that uniform is not on here, the Celtics uniform. And if you want to talk about 90s, the San Jose Sharks uniform is great. The
That's
Marlins
an awesome
uniform
one.
is great. There are great 90s uniform. The fact that we picked like the cartoonish, intentionally ugly ones because they appealed to 9-year-olds at the time instead of classic uniforms is a shame. And I think you're going to get a lot of shit when you post the bracket. And I really hope you do. I hope you get a world of shit.
Well,
You'll be tagged in it. Don't worry.
I'll just mute the conversation. That's fine. But everyone will, actually I won't because I'll see everyone agreeing with me. I'll be very happy. For this matchup in particular, the Red Wings uniform is very good. I hate black uniforms personally. I just don't like the look. I don't like the black Mets uniform. I just don't like black uniforms.
Okay.
The one exception is the Raiders. That silver and the black for some reason works for me. Now you guys are absolutely right. They are a loser franchise now, but you said it like kind of cool people wearing those jerseys and just like. The Raiders always just seem kind of cool to me, even though I know they dress, now they all dress all crazy at the games. Like it's weird. The fan base can be weird at times.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know why, there is a cool element with it. I'm going to go with the Raiders here, barely over the Red Wings.
Raiders.
You know what you could call those basketball jerseys, the people who voted for them? Douchebags.
Yes.
All of those jerseys are douchebag jerseys.
that doesn't make them not cool though.
They're Lollapalooza.
It does. I think it does. I think if you wore it,
douchebags.
like you're trying too hard. Like, all right, we get it. You were aware the 96, Rocket or 96 Raptors existed. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems very try hard. No.
Look, I would agree with you. I go where the people tell me. That's it.
Populist.
Absolutely, that's the whole point. That's the point of a bracket vote. It's a vote by. It's a popular. We're the polis here. You got to vote. We're voting. Okay, before we get into the playoffs, let's hear from our last sponsor today, BetterHelp. The bracket is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every January brings you 365 blank pages waiting to be filled. I like that. That's a good start to it. Typically, I'm not impressed by like an ad read start, 365 blank pages. That's nice. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's part of your story that you're waiting to revise. Life isn't about resolutions that fade by February. It's about picking up the pen, becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create meaningful stories that you deserve to live. If you've or for me anyway, I used BetterHelp over the course of COVID when we couldn't physically get to the doctor's office. I ended up sticking with it because it's significantly easier not having to go to a physical doctor's office. Way better. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists that cover a wide range of specialties. Easily switch therapists at any time for no extra cost. Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/lights to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lights. All right, playoff time. First matchup, the Retro Magic versus the Notre Dame Classic jersey. It's going to be a rough one. Let's start with you, Klemmer.
I'm going to go against everything I just said, and I'm going to go with the Magic here. I got to be fair. I like the number scheme. I like the way it looks. But it goes to show you that just because it's the 90s doesn't mean it's bad. Like I said, I love the Marlins jersey. I love this jersey. It's just the ones they picked are so ostentatiously ugly intentionally. But the Notre Dame one is fantastic. I just don't have a big connection to college football, so that's a big reason why.
I don't think you could have picked it over like a more old school classic test of time jersey.
I know. I got to be honest. I got to be fair.
Hey, you know what? That's fair and honest Klemmer. That's what they call you.
That's dead right. I wish.
Between these two, I'm in the same boat as you, where like I just don't have the connection to college football, which is sad, and I blame entirely on the fact that there's just like no banner like North, or rather at least in New York, like college football team. Like who the fuck am I?
Northeast, really? Like growing up where I did, but no, we didn't talk about that. We talked about you put on sports radio. You grew up in that area. All you talk about the 4 major sports.
Exactly.
You don't talk college sports growing up.
Yeah, not even a little bit. And it sucks. I wish we're the biggest fucking city on the country. We can't have like a good college football program anywhere. It's fucking crazy. Like, I'm gonna root for Rutgers. I'm gonna root for I don't know.
I know.
It sucks, man. But yeah, I would go with Magic as well. Chief.
Going with the Irish. I love the Magic one. Any other matchup, I'd probably pick the Magic, but I can't go against Notre Dame.
Blue and gold.
I also am going with the Irish here as much as I love those Magic uniforms. They're fucking awesome, but Notre Dame might be the best in sports.
Notre Dame might be the best in sports, 2-2. Have you guys? I think at least I met with you, Eddie, on St. Patrick's Day this year in Chicago, or last year in Chicago. This year we put plans together. We're gonna go to Savannah. Savannah apparently has like the third.
It's crazy.
Supposed to be wild.
It's supposed to be awesome.
Apparently the third biggest St. Patrick's Day city on the world.
Yeah.
Some shit. It's crazy. I had no idea. But yeah, excited for that. Eddie.
I hate that I'm put in a tiebreaker situation. I really do like them both, but I'm going to go with the Magic.
Going to go with the Magic. Magic's going to move on. Now we have the Chargers Powder Blue versus the, we're saying 80s Expos jerseys. Another matchup of kind of like the Blues. Start with you, Eddie.
One more time. What was it? Sorry.
Chargers Powder Blue versus the 80s Expos. See this?
It's so marginal. Am I wrong or no? Maybe Expos is a little more gaudy. I'm gonna go Chargers though.
You're gonna go Chargers Powder Blue, Dave.
This is the hardest one yet because they're so like similar.
Yeah, it's so marginal.
It's the Blues, man.
I'm gonna go Chargers.
2 for the Chargers.
I don't like that I just did, but I'm gonna go Chargers.
Chargers Powder Blues, Chief.
Give me the Expos. I love those Expos jerseys. I like the Chargers Powder Blue, but I do feel like it's almost like too easy. And didn't like that. I didn't like the Phillip Rivers one you put up there. So give me the Expos.
You would have preferred the LT with the visor Powder Blue.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
See, to me that brings up him sitting on the sideline during the AFC Championship game or whatever, and just makes me not happy. For the most part, although I guess he was wearing the navies, but
he was wearing the navies.
But now that used to be all growing up was thinking of LT in the visor was like the greatest things ever, and then that game happens, and all of a sudden it's like, oh,
yeah,
this is bad now.
Send him to the Jets.
Yes, I know the Jets. So 2 for the Chargers, 1 for the Expos. Klemmer, oh, you go first.
Oh, it's Expos. You're gonna pick the Chargers because you have the Chargers.
I'm thinking about it. I'm going with the Chargers.
Shockingly, the number 1 seed in this spot.
Chargers.
Stunning move.
We're going to move on. So Chargers Powder Blues versus the Magic 90s jersey. Klemmer.
Yeah, so for Yak Idol, when I was trying to get a job here, we did Yak basketball. And we got to pick jerseys, and one of the jerseys offered was the Magic one. I took that one. I love that jersey a lot. I said that number looks cool. I like that.
Which player?
It was Shaq.
Okay.
And I think no one speaks to Shaq's body type more than me.
Yep.
So I went with that, and I like that jersey a lot. I've always liked it, even as a kid.
How many U's would it take to beat up Shaq?
Oh, my God.
I think Shaq probably eats more in a day than Klemmer eats in a week.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's
Right?
true.
12?
Like 12 Klemmers, do you think could beat Shaq in a fight?
Oh, no.
No?
It's got to be more than that.
It's 12.
12. I mean, one of
Like-
us could just beat the shit out of his balls, right?
Yeah.
my God.
I think that he could like throw one punch and take out 3 of you at the same
No,
time.
I mean, I think we, while we are, wiry and not very strong, I think we would be somewhat try to plan about it a little bit. Like, all right, go for his Achilles or
my
go for his
God.
balls.
Picture
Go for the
four-
weak spots.
Picturing 4 Klemmers just working Shaq's balls is
I think it would have to be like 50 Klemmers.
Really?
Yeah, I
How
really
many
do.
Chiefs would it take?
20?
No.
No.
I think
Dude,
Klemmer's
he's so big. He's so big.
so
Klemmer's,
humongous.
I think you could. I think
Are we talking prime Shaq or
Lakers
no?
Shaq. Lakers
don't-
Shaq.
Go for the maybe go for the
fuck.
throw.
it's probably even tougher
Dude,
now. He's
I
bigger
have
now than
that-
he was in the NBA.
Yeah, but he was stronger.
Dude, the guy,
more.
like, I've seen the Dikembe Mutombo in person, and he used to bitch to Kembe. So I think, like,
Dude, remember that when he swung at Brad Miller?
yeah.
He would have killed him.
He would have
my
killed
God.
him.
He would have killed him.
Yeah.
He was actually
Right in the
quicker.
back
He was
of the
never
head.
fast. When he was with the Magic, you saw like how kind of lean he was. He was even like quick-ish. Like
Oh, yeah.
like Shaq. Oh my God, he'd be terrifying.
I'm thinking like mid Lakers tenure where he had a lot more weight to
Oh,
him
yeah.
than Magic Shaq, but he still like had that quick twitch.
I don't know what does that like his uniform look like? I haven't seen it in a while. I wonder why.
No, I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
wonder. Funny.
You gotta ask people. But yeah, I don't know. I think 20 Klemmers.
All right.
I think if you'd have to really wrap up his legs.
We would try really hard to be like clever about it. That's the only way. It's the only way we can win.
Yeah.
It's the only way a Klemmer can survive.
So 1 for the Magic. I'm going with the Powder Blues. Just don't have much of a. I don't even think about it, to be honest. Chief.
I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. Who's this between
It's
Magic?
Magic versus Powder Blues.
Give me the Magic.
2 for the Magic. 1 for the Powder Blues. Dave.
I'll go to the Powder Blues. And I'll just say this about the Magic. The reason I think Klemmer doesn't, or likes them actually, is because they're not very gimmicky. at all.
No. It's just a good-looking jersey.
Pretty
Yeah.
clean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the other ones are
But it has the
intentionally
90s
ugly.
vibe at the same time.
It does.
Right.
Like the font, the
Yeah.
number font.
The font,
is,
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's unique, but wasn't over the top. The other ones were intentionally ugly, and people are liking them, thinking it's like, oh, that's what the '90s were. It's like, no, those were
But
bad on
that
purpose.
can play.
Those
like
ones-
bulldogs are ugly dogs, to Ed's point.
Someone
but
made
they're
those
sweet.
with clip art in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Microsoft
suck.
clip art.
Yeah.
With the big ass box computers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
I guess
suck.
like how people
100%
treat
they
the creamsicle jerseys now, almost. You know what I mean? Where like those were considered like the worst uniforms ever created in the 80s or 70s, right?
Yeah,
But now
exactly.
they're like, oh, they're cool.
Yeah, but I like those. I actually like those jerseys.
See?
I did
But,
too.
but I don't. But those weren't. You gotta remember, these Raptors ones, I believe, were made for children because they were intentional. They were trying to get. It was for kids. It was intentionally bad.
They were trying to.
And the idea that like we're honoring them is great. It's like no, they were trying to be stupid. Like you liking them is not ironic. You're liking them.
I think it looks cool.
Okay.
I think the Raptors one looks cool. I think there are some of them where it's like, oh, that's like like I would say the Pistons one is more on that edge where it's like I wouldn't want to like design that today. You'd be laughed at. But like the association with the 90s is what makes that one I think cooler to me. So we are 2-2. Chargers Powder Blue versus the Magic 90s one. Ed, you're gonna have to break the tie.
I'm gonna go Magic, man. I think there's just more to the design, and and it's not so much you're rooting for the color because the color is the best. So that's what I'm gonna say.
So the Magic is going to go into the finals. Now on the other side, we have the Blackhawk red jersey versus the UNC Classic jersey. Ed.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
I hate that. I'm gonna go UNC though.
UNC.
Feels dirty. Feels traitorous, but I'm going to do it.
One for UNC, Dave.
I'm going Hawks.
One for the Hawks. Chief, I feel like I know where you're going.
Yeah, it's closer than you would think. I think if you had not that one, but the Vince Carter Argyle 90s one of UNC, I might even go UNC, but I'm going Hawks.
2 for the Hawks, 1 for UNC. Between these two, I think I personally like the Blackhawk jersey more. And that to me is like one of like the if you were asking me like just like quick think of a hockey jersey, it would probably be a Blackhawks jersey, which might be weird, but like it's just like that to me is like a definitive hockey jersey. So I would go with that.
Okay.
UNC.
UNC.
Yeah.
Blackhawk jersey is going to move.
It's
on.
close though. They're both very good.
Yes,
Yep.
I would agree. It's like razor thin margins here. So Blackhawk jersey is going to move on. Now we have the Raiders versus the Yankees jersey.
Oh wow.
This is like
It's good.
kind of not obviously not the same colors, but it's very similar, just classic. Nuts and bolts.
Yeah, very few colors happening in this
Yeah.
one. Klemmer.
Oof.
I hate doing this. It's the Yankees. The Raiders one is fantastic, but that Yankees one, I mean, it is the most iconic uniform in all of sports, and that's not the only reason to pick it. But it's timeless, been around since the 20s, since Ruth. It's just a really. It's not my favorite uniform, but I respect the hell out of it.
I think I would go. I would go with the Yankees as well. It's really tough not to. It's like you're saying, like it is like the most iconic uniform in baseball, and baseball is like the oldest.
Most iconic uniform in sports.
Yeah,
I
like,
believe in all sports.
I would say no doubt baseball, which makes it then elevates to sports just because it's like the oldest, I guess, contiguous sports out of that or sports league out of the entire thing.
Yeah.
So I would go Yankees. Chief.
Yankees in a route. I think the Yankees uniform is those home whites with the pinstripes are so clean. Great logo. Yankees.
Yankees.
Do you know who created that logo?
No, I don't.
Tiffany's. So in the
wow.
in the 1890s, it was created to honor firemen, I believe, and as a fireman from New York. And then the Yankees then used it in. They were originally the Highlanders, the Yankees, and when they became the Yankees, they ended up using that. I think in like the teens, they started adopting that interlocking NY.
Oh.
Or like 08, somewhere in there. Yeah,
That's a good fact, Klemmer. That's
you go.
that's the type of facts I love from Chris Klemmer.
Yeah. Dave.
Yankees versus
Raiders.
Yankees.
Yankees.
I thought I said
Yankees.
Yeah,
Yankees, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Yankees versus Blackhawks, Eddie, to go into the finals.
Man.
It's tough. I'm sorry, I'm putting you in between a rock and a hard place here.
I know. It's really hard.
That's what your job is on the bracket.
Yeah, I don't think it can go wrong either way, to be honest with you. I think I like baseball jerseys more than hockey ones, so I'm going to take the Yankees.
You're going to go with the Yankees. Dave?
I typically tend to gravitate towards uniforms that pop and are more vibrant. Obviously, red's a much more louder color than blue, so I'm going to go with the Blackhawks.
One for the Blackhawks. Chief?
I'm trying to combat my own hatred for the Blackhawks. Like the current state of the Blackhawks. I fucking hate them. But I'm gonna go Blackhawks. Just if I remove everything, which one would I rather have? I think that's the best. I think it's the single best logo in sports. So I'm gonna stick with that.
And I would stick with the Yankees for all the reasons. For Klemmer, you're going to have to break the tie.
Oh, I hate doing this. It's the Yankees.
So Yankees versus the 90s Magic jersey in the finals.
The pinstripe
This is
bowl.
the finals?
It is a pinstripe bowl. Yeah, we just love
Pinstripe
pinstripes,
bowl.
I guess.
Yeah, pinstripes are clean.
Pinstripes on
Yeah.
uniforms are as
I
good as
guess,
it gets.
and to Dave's point, we should have used the 93 home Marlins. They had the pinstripes. Fuck, I hate this. God damn it. This is not what I wanted. I got to go with the Yankees. I hate this team more than I hate the Patriots so much. I hate the Yankees more, I think. But you can't argue with what they are. Mm-hmm. They've earned it.
Yeah, I'm going Yankees as well. Chief?
Yankees. It has to be like, I love the Magic jersey, but you can't just have a jersey that has existed for 4 years. Win the bracket.
I
Well,
disagree.
The bracket might argue that.
God knows they had about like 15 different chances.
It tried.
Yeah. Dave?
Magic.
Magic,
I mean,
you'll be
they're
dissenting,
largely
right?
the same uniform. I mean, obviously they're not, but like dark pinstripes, dark versus dark pinstripes. That's what you're. And so I'll go with the louder blue than the darker blue.
I like their logo a lot, but yeah.
I like the number scheme the Magic one a lot. I think it's really cool. Like the round numbers. I like that.
One uniform has names on the back, Dave. One doesn't.
Wait, so Eddie?
Is it? It's not a tiebreaker, right?
No. God, no.
Oh, it's not.
It's the Yankees.
Yeah, it's the Yankees. Just want to make sure. Yeah. So the winner of the best jersey bracket.
I don't even think they're the best fucking baseball uniforms. Red Sox better.
I don't think the Red Sox better. I think
The Red Sox uniforms are awesome. The Phillies, the powder blue Phillies are awesome.
Powder blue Phillies. Remember the one in the '80s, the pullovers with that P?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like the mauve was like almost a purplish look. I like those two.
We had a couple.
Yeah.
The Marlins one I love.
I hate to say it, but the St. Louis Cardinals jerseys are
They're awesome.
Awesome too.
They're
the powder
awesome.
blue with the birds on each bat.
Yep.
Yeah.
There were a couple of ones that just missed the cut.
The Cubs one back in
Cubs-
the 60s.
Or
Like when the C was really big. I like that.
I like the
I love the
Pirates.
Cubs jerseys now. I guess I really do love pinstripes.
Pinstripes in baseball. It's the way to go.
Yeah.
Definitely. Every team should have a pinstripe uniform in their arsenal.
I'm glad that not every team does because it keeps it a little bit more unique.
You know what I want to put on here that I couldn't ethically put on here was the Tampa Bay Devil Ray ones from 98-99. It was a white uniform, but the Devil Ray uniform itself, the logo was kind of like multicolor.
Yeah.
It was like when Wade Boggs on the team and Fred McGriff. I just think that look was really...
You just argued against those type of uniforms
No,
for
it's not.
2.5
It's not.
hours.
No, they didn't have a giant Devil Ray wearing a Devil Ray jersey and a mitt.
You're talking about the one with the gradient going across
Yeah.
the double.
Yeah.
Ray. Okay.
Like you can be from the 90s and not be like idiotic. And for like I said, the NBA was trying to sell merchandise to children. That's why they did that.
This is a word art ass jersey. Like this to me is like the not cool. Like I could have made this in PowerPoint in 2 seconds in 1999 type of thing.
You should have. You would have been a very rich designer.
I would have been. But yeah, there's a couple other ones that people like. I love the Oakland's jerseys.
Oh,
like
so
I forgot
good.
to say that
those
the
are
Oakland Kelly green
Yeah.
jerseys are awesome. That
always
popped in
liked
my head
those.
in the middle of the draft when we were talking Kelly
So
green,
good.
and those need to be talked about because those are outstanding uniforms.
I've also always really liked the Steelers jerseys as much as I've never liked the team. I've always liked the like just black on yellow is just usually a winning combination. Even Pirates, like I like.
I just think it's kind of boring. No, is that
I like
on
how
black and yellow?
Pittsburgh does that though. They all go black and gold for
Yeah,
or
it's like
black
the
and
city
yellow for the
colors.
city. Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd
But
be
I-
sweet if Chicago. And on the topic of, I just brought up Chicago, but the Bears with the orange letters, I love that uniform. I don't know if that's home cooking talking, but those jerseys,
Like the Cutler.
They probably
era.
don't even know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
I agree.
to
They
be
might not-
honest, 'cause
yeah.
they don't wear it enough.
How are you guys with the Padres mustards? Like those brown and
I don't like the
I
color
like 'em.
brown. I don't like brown on uniforms
I do.
at all.
I like-
I like
love
Wyoming
Padres with
uniforms.
the
I
orange.
hate
I
those
kind of like them.
uniforms.
And then the Astros one that looks like a creamsicle.
Yeah,
you guys
that
like
one.
those at all? I think it's too much, but it's an interesting look.
The Padres
like
had
the
like a
70s
city jersey that I
throwback.
really liked. That was like blue, like a super highlighter, almost blue.
Oh, I
that
hate-
I kind of liked.
I think I know what you're talking about. The City Connect ones?
Maybe City Connect or
I don't
City
know.
something. I forget what.
I hate the City Connect ones because the Cubs to me never get them right. I want to get rid of those cross. If the Cubs did like that Wrigley Field ivy green, that scoreboard green, like a white uniform with that green color, I think those would be
Like the
awesome.
ivy?
Like if you go to Wrigley
cool.
Field, the scoreboard has like it's like a
Like
very
that.
unique kind of like muted green.
Yes.
that just pops. And if they made a jersey with that, like a white with that, I think it would be incredible. They never do.
There were some other ones too, like some Army Navy ones of like the ones we will
Oh
do.
yeah.
Like a random one for a random. Like those are always cool.
Dude, with that, this is probably 15, 20 years ago now, but Army came out in like the Desert Storm camo head to toe. I'm like, those were incredible.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
WVU did a coal miner jersey, which
They just had the Bastogne jerseys this year, which were awesome.
Screaming Eagle thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are sick. Phillies powder blue. People submitted a ton. People love the Phillies powder blue.
I like them a lot.
I think those. I
hate
think
the Phillies, but I just
the Phillies red pinstripes are awesome too.
I agree. That's a good jersey. The white on white Bengals one, I think I've really liked.
I don't like those. Yeah, I'm not a fan
I
of
didn't
those.
really love
liked
them
it.
either.
Yeah.
I think a white on white with the black stripe. I think it was cool. You didn't like that?
Doesn't do it for me. No, I understand the appeal. It just doesn't work for me.
Ravens all black, pretty cool. Some of like the other ones, but they're like there's such like we do it once and that's it. Like it was very difficult to pick a one-off jersey here.
I love the Falcons like white with red numbers, Dirty Bird era
Yeah.
jerseys.
really
I thought those were great.
Yeah. But yeah, there is a ton on here. We'll see how I'll make sure I write when I post the graphic, all seated by Chris Klemmer.
No, do not do that. I will be very upset. I will yell. You don't want that. No one wants that.
That'd actually be pretty funny. He'd get a lot of shit because I have a feeling we're all going to get a lot of shit for the champion in this one.
For Yankees? No,
I don't think so.
For the finals, I think that Notre Dame, I think Bama should have been in the top 16. I think there's a lot of big time jerseys that weren't even.
I really Celtics and Lakers not being on there is crazy.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Lakers. We didn't even talk about the Lakers.
No, I know it wasn't even the bracket. I was.
And technically, that's the only jersey that's actually complementary colors. It's supposed to like look aesthetically pleasing to the human eye. Purple and yellow.
Lakers should have had some sort of like goofy talking bear on it or something.
Yeah, no shit. Giant lake wearing your Lakers jersey.
Fucking human looking object. But yeah, that's the bracket. We'll be back next week with a full crew and a new topic. See you guys then.